What was the moment you realized that you shouldn't have showed up to a date? 1. When I was 18, a girl sent me a PM on MSN saying she got my details from my friend and wanted to go on a date with me. I asked my friend and he said she was hot, so after talking a bit I agreed to a date. I had seen a photo and she was pretty attractive. I showed up to the cafe for the date and was approached by some girl I'd never seen with a baby. She then told me she was the girl. She looked nothing like her photo. She explained she thought I'd never go for someone who looked like her. She was right. Then she left her baby with me while she went to the toilet quickly. Alarm bells started to ring after 15 minutes. I asked a waitress to check on her and to my surprise the waitress came back and said, no one was in there. I looked around the cafe and she was gone. I hadn't noticed her leaving. I didn't have any of her contact details and smartphones were not a thing, so I didn't have internet access. I phoned my mate and got him to attempt to contact her on MSN. After telling him what happened, he was surprised and had no idea. Apparently he also thought her pictures were the real her. Another 20 minutes went by and I was scared, so I asked the waitress for help. Thankfully she was able to help and called the police. They showed up and I explained what happened. I didn't know anything about this girl, so I couldn't really help them. They said if she contacted me to get her to contact them. I left and walked towards my car. I went past another cafe about 6 shops down and there she was with a different guy. I went back to the police and got them to take her baby in while I watched through the window outside and waved when she looked up. Turns out I was the babysitter for her real date. 2. That time when I walked into the restaurant where I was meeting a doctor that I had met online, and he was there wearing a white lab coat. To the dinner. That was our first and last date. 3. When she responded to hi on Tinder with something like, hey cutie, want to come to my parents' house? Not really a date honestly, but a good story. We chatted for a bit, and according to her she wasn't looking for anything serious, but she wanted me to pick her up, take her out to dinner, and maybe Netflix and chill after. Very transactional, which kinda stung, but whatever, she was hot. I looked up the address she gave me and was surprised to find a neighborhood that I did work in, and that the house was one I knew was for sale. Specifically, the owner passed and it was being gutted to be resold by his kids. At this point, I'm 100% convinced this was a scam, but somewhat curious, I decided to drive by and see if anyone was there, texting her. I was coming, but in a different type of car. Really expensive neighborhood, on a sea cliff, felt like an adventure. Took my work truck. Drove by and some huge dude comes out of the house, stares at my truck, and goes back in. Could see other people inside. Noped out of there super fast. Pretty convinced it was a phishing scam to mug me, or a prank. Didn't feel like finding out.